was too late.
But now that piece of tape on the front stretch, now Randy LaJoie, Greg Biffle, Jimmy Spencer, they're going to try to convince NASCAR that's debris.
Jeff Green continues to struggle on this setup. He and Jack Sprague are side by side for 10th.
And after that happened, by the way, the inspectors the next week went around and pulled on everything in everybody's car to see if it come loose or not.
You know, looking at Jack Sprague in the 24 car, we heard Steve Burns talk about, and I like that concept. His whole truck team moved with him, this Busch National team.
Connor, yeah.
He mentioned Dennis Connor. Dennis Connor was the car chief on the 25 car for Hendrick when Tim Richmond drove that car with Harry Hyde as the crew chief.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's been around a long time, and he and Jack have had a lot of success, particularly in the trucks, if they can carry it over into the Busch Series.
Now here's LaJoie and Biffle for second and third.
Those cars look pretty equally matched, LaJoie and Biffle, so I'd say that one of them will have to slip.
Jimmy Spencer's fallen back.
Boy, McMurray got loose off of 2 and got into that black car back there.
Wimmer.
Scott Wimmer.
I think Wimmer's been in about 4 wrecks back there.
Well, his car's the same color as the asphalt. They don't see it
I
back
don't think
there.
they see it. It's hard to tell who it is. I know that.
These guys getting racy now here. We're getting down to about 27 laps to go. This is where you kind of tell your driver, you know what I've been telling you about tire conservation? That's out the window
Watch
now.
these guys back here. McMurray, and there goes the 10 on the inside, and whoa. It just didn't have enough room there.
Oh, he's sideways.
Yeah,
down on the bottom, and
he got loose.
Yep.
Boy, lucky they didn't make it.
And he was coming out of the corner right there. Scott Riggs on the 10 in the 10 car behind him. I don't think he got into him, but he got him loose. Took that downforce away from the rear. Rear end wants to come out from under you.
It's a good thing McMurray started on the bottom because he needed the whole width of the racetrack to straighten himself out. Biffle has passed LaJoie for second.
See how he did it. He comes off the corner here. It's a run on Randy, and Randy knows he's there. Randy wisely lets him go down in the corner, gives him room. And Mr. Biffle is up to second place and hunting for Jason Keller, and that's 2 Fords running first and second.
He's got a long way to hunt. It's 6.5 seconds up there.
And it's 26 laps to go. Let's go to the leaders pit and Jeannie.
I'm with the crew chief, Steve Addington, who you don't see any debris out there, do you?
No, no. It's been there for a few laps. They've been telling me that it's out there. If they throw a caution now, something's up.
What are you telling your driver?
Just be smooth. He's got a pretty good lead right now. It's going to be about rhythm. Jason's done a heck of a job today. So all these guys have been working hard. It's paying off right now.
Definitely paying off. The car has been awesome all day.
24 laps to go. We'll take a break and then carry you all the way to the checkered flag. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series presented by Subway on Fox.
And welcome back to live racing on Fox. You're looking at the Busch Series and the leader, Jason Keller. Tomorrow, our NASCAR coverage continuing on the Fox networks, beginning with the show that gets you ready for race day. NASCAR this morning. That's on Fox Sports Net. Then Winston Cup action with the Subway 400 on Fox, where a new champion will be crowned King of the Rock. Get the full wrap-up of all the activity on NASCAR Victory Lane. Let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, and Darrell Waltrip.
Jason Keller continues to lead Greg Biffle by 6.7 seconds. Then Randy LaJoie, and there's a new fourth-place car. Scott Riggs has blasted past Jimmy Spencer and Ashton Lewis Jr. to move up to fourth. Darrell, he's been a kite without a tail. He hasn't always been pointed straight ahead, but he's been flying.
He's got that thing beat up pretty good. The whole right side's all knocked in on it, but he keeps going forward. He is very aggressive.
And I don't think he has enough laps, but he's been faster than the leader when he's in traffic.
I mean, he is driving the wheels off that thing. He is relentless.
Lewis and Spencer now battle behind him for fifth place.
And Ashton Lewis, I mean, that's a great run for that kid. I mean, everybody said, give that kid a sponsor, give him a chance, and he'll run up front. And by golly, he's doing it. Civil Air Patrol ought to be happy.
Speeds at the stripe. Let's see if indeed Keller's teammate is faster than the leader. Not quite.
As hard as these guys are racing all back through the field here, I can't imagine there's not going to be another caution. 15 laps to go. I don't think it really matters now, though. I don't think any of the front cars get pit.
But remember what happened here last year or last fall.
Yeah.
Jeff Green leading the race handily, runs out of gas with 8 laps, finishes 8th.
Yeah. Came down to restart and never went.
Spencer, number 1 on the outside. Lewis, 46, as they work past Dan Pardis. Spencer uses Pardis as a pick.
This is roughly about a half a lap behind the leader right now.
Boy, I tell you, Jeff Green, for a car that was as dominant as he was early in the race, he sure did backslide. Just shows you how this place will do you, though. You get a good setup early on, and halfway through the race, you can't drive it.
Green led the first half of the race and has fallen to 10th.
You know, we mentioned earlier about Robert Yates fielding a race car today with Casey Kane here, but a change that these guys made, Jason Keller in the 57, Scott Riggs in the 10, that are teammates, is they actually went to Robert Yates engines this year, so the major change there. So Robert Yates really getting in deep in Busch Grand National Racing. But Darrell, I have to believe he keeps testing the waters, not only for talent, but because of maybe this one engine rule in Winston Cup, trying to see what things look like on a full weekend with a Busch Grand National engine that can only use one engine.
Here's something that might be coming down the pipe. There's some talk about going to roller cams in Winston Cup. Busch cars run roller cam shafts. Winston Cup runs a flat tappet camshaft. There's a possibility that in the very near future, for cost again, a roller cam will last forever. Flat tappets, they replace them every time they run an engine. There's a chance that they might go to the roller camshaft in the very near future. A little more experience here with that kind of a configuration.
Experience.
Watching from Michael Waltrip, who is in 16th place, 1 lap down.
Mikey's been running good. I mean, he's been, you know, can't keep up with the 57, but he's been outrunning everybody else.
Looks like he's putting the move to Greg Biffle, who is our 2nd place car, 7 seconds behind the leader, and Biffle lets Waltrip go by without incident.
But you know what? That's a smart move on Greg Biffle. He's not going to catch Jason Keller. It's not going to happen. So do the next best thing. Let's don't use our car up to give up 3rd place to Randy LaJoie that's back there about a second and a half behind him.
And let me tell you something. 57 car is getting ready to get in some heavy traffic. And he could be held. He's being held up right now, as a matter of fact. There are 2 or 3 wide in front of him.
He has an 8-second lead with 8 laps to go. You know, he just can't give up a second a lap. He's just, you know, he needs to be careful in this traffic.
Well, that's what he's doing. He's being real careful. He's got to pick his way through here.
He moves past to Brian Vickers. As we get down into the closing laps, Jeff Hammond.
Mike, I've been watching one of the more interesting battles to me is the fact that Larry Foyt, who started back at 27th right now, has put an awful lot of pressure on Jeff Green to break into the top 10 today. He's had an outstanding run, and you can see right there, he's done caught him. He's been very quick. Watching his lap times, he's been one of the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd fastest cars every lap for the last 10 laps.
And if Foyt makes that pass, as he's doing right now,
he's under him.
He could score his 1st career top 10 finish.
Yeah, he struggled last year for sure.
Larry Foyt was a lot like Jamie McMurray. He was one of the cars that pitted early, made those adjustments on his car, got himself back into contention, and he's been there ever since that move.
Well, and one thing about guys like him, very limited experience. They jump into the Busch Series with a lot of competition in the Busch Series, and you're not going to make a star. You're not going to be a star overnight. So last year was a learning experience for him. This year, you know, he might get those top 10 finishes.
5 to go. Jason Keller, 57. The Albertsons Ford, and the driver who took on the mantle of team leader when Jeff Green, his teammate, departed for the Winston Cup Series.
Watch it.
At an anxious moment a lap or so ago.
This is what I was talking about, all that heavy traffic. And what does he do? I mean, good grief, leading by 8 seconds, and guys are trying to spin out in front of him. That's the good thing about having an 8-second lead, though, isn't it, Larry? You can kind of watch things like that and see what happens.
And the spotter is all over him right now, you know, counting the laps down, telling him how big of a lead he has, and be patient. Pick and choose where you go by these lap cars.
And Jamie McMurray is a 15th place car, and he's just going around him on the outside.
There. Be patient. You're the man.
You the man.
Clear.
Let's go back to 5th place where Mike McLaughlin and Jimmy Spencer, 2 former champions of NASCAR's modified division, are side by side.
And Jack Sprague, he's in the mix too in the 24 car. This is all a battle for 5th.
And Sprague, I know, would like to have a top 5 finish, make his presence felt in this series. I think he's done an awfully good job today, to tell you the truth.
McLaughlin, though, has been smooth.
Whoa.
Whoa. Sprague gets a little
Sprague
sideways.
says, oh, I didn't. Where'd that guy come from?
2 to go. McLaughlin driving a smooth and patient race to move up now to 5th. Scott Riggs, teammate to Jason Keller, up to 4th. Keller going to put this one away. 6.2 second lead. There's his teammate, the rookie Scott Riggs. White flag.
He slowed his speed down about a half a second the last few laps.
Nothing to worry about. 1 to go, Hot Rod.
Keller not going to challenge Casey Mears ahead. Going to coast around for the win. That's McMurray down on. No, it's Michael Walter down on the apron going to pit road.
It's almost like he ran out of fuel.
As Jason Keller becomes the 22nd different winner in 38 Busch Series races at Rockingham.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
All
Good
right.
race, everybody. Good race. Guys, hell of a job.
It's his 6th career win. His first win at Rockingham. His 3rd win on a 1-mile track.
Awesome job, buddy. Awesome job. Jason, they want you down to victory lane as soon as possible. It must be short on our time, okay?
Jeannie?
Well, with the winning crew chief, I know that Jason has had success here, but this car was dialed in really from the get-go.
Oh, man, these guys have worked their heart out. How about that beam? Hey, babe, I love you. Man, this is great.
And how about the fact that now it's the Cup guys that are behind you this week instead of Daytona when you had 3 Cup guys ahead of you?
We just come in here and race our own race. To beat them guys is great because they're the best in the world. And to beat them has just been great. That Alderson's Ford, Robert Yates horsepower, appreciate everything.
I'm not going to stop the emotion. Go enjoy.
Larry Foyt did get his first top 10 finish as Jason Keller gets his 6th career win and takes the Busch Series point lead. All the celebratory stuff goes on the roof of the car.
You know, a real consistent runner from last year at the end of the year particularly was Tony Raines, and he ends up in the 8th, or no, in the 9th spot there as well. So good run for that young man. Kenny Wallace is in 12th. Jeff Green, the early leader. Boy, did he fade at the end.
Let's go down to our subway victory lane and Dick Berggren.
And as Jason Keller begins the exit process, it does take a while with all the stuff these guys are strapped in with, but he's on the way out of the car right now for a whoop-de-doo time. Oh, yes, the confetti flying through the air. 18 times you had been here before and never been to this place. What was the difference today?
Had a real fast forward today, you know, and man, that Robert Yates horsepower didn't hurt, I tell you what. And we've been talking a big game all winter long, and I thought my race team was better than it's ever been, and so I had to prove it. And just awesome. I told Joe last week, he asked me if I won a trophy, and I told him no.
Crew Chief Steve Addington in here.
Thank you, bud.
I told Joe that I didn't win a trophy last week. I'd bring one home for him this week. So, Joe, I'm going to bring the trophy home for you and Jay this week. So, awesome field. Just a great car all day long.
Last couple of years, 3rd in points, 2nd in points. You had a 4th at Daytona. Big kiss. 4th at Daytona and now a win. Is it too early to start thinking about championship, or have you already been thinking?
No, we've thought about it all winter long. You know, I really focused that our race team is a lot better than it's ever been. And I'm just driving my heart out. That's all I can do. And I was just a lucky one driving this Ford today, you know, and man, what a feeling. I've always waited till late in the year to win, and I wanted to win more races than one this year, so we're off to a good start.
There's another fellow that had a pretty good day today, too. His name is Scott Riggs, and Matt is with him.
And Scott Riggs, 2nd straight top 10 finish, and you told me this was a crazy place.
Yeah, it's a definitely a crazy place. You know, a lot of contact going on out there. I think it's just where the racetrack's so slick, everybody's slipping and sliding around. But, you know, I got to give my hats off to all the guys on the next quick forward Taurus. I mean, these guys that's number 10, they did a great job. Even we got a lap down there, they never said anything on the radio. They just said, we're going to keep on digging, we're going to get back in this ball game. And, you know, they're the ones that put such a good team under me. Everybody did a great job spotting. Everybody did a great job working. And this is the man that makes it happen right here. Good job, brother. That thing was a rocket, brother. Man. But like I say, my hat's off to them. They're the ones that did it. I'm just they called me the monkey behind holding the wheel. But I tell you, I just can't give a thumbs up to them enough. They did a great job. They had a lot of faith in me, who I am. And, you know, I'm a nobody, I'm a rookie, but we're here to prove who we are.
A 6th at the Daytona, a 4th here today at the Rock. To Steve Burns.
Matt with Greg Biffle. Greg, you guys had a very fast race car. You got a lap down, got it back. Tell us about your day.
Well, we had a really good day going, and then that green flag pit stop. I stopped a little deep in the box. The 21 car blocked us in and got us a lap down. At just one of them deals. You know, I'll learn to stop short in the box one of these days. But the guys did a great job. Came back. I scraped the wall coming off a 2 over there, and they pulled the fenders out and put 4 tires on it, and we were able to come from the 16th to 2nd. So pretty good job for the Granger team. And I tell you, the Ford Taurus ran really good today, and we're pretty excited with it. And congratulations to the 57 team. They did a great job.
Greg Biffle does a great job fighting back, Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve. As we show you the finish, the first 6 positions and 8 of the top 10 Busch Series regulars.
And that's a big change from what we've seen in the past, and I like it. I'm glad to see that these Busch guys can hold their own against whoever comes into this series. Guys run like Jason Keller did today. I don't believe anybody can handle him, and Biffle, of course, going to be strong again, too.
Larry, as slideways as these fellas run here, that's going to be a fun season.
Oh, I just can't wait. We go to Las Vegas next Saturday. You know, we interviewed Scott Riggs. I want to give a call to his owner, Greg Pollux. He had a big burden on his shoulders last year. I mean, let's face it. That team, Jeff Green, the 10 car, they were the Jeff Gordon of the Busch Series, and he had to find a replacement. I think he done a great job in hiring Scott Riggs.
I think he did, too. I like that.
Quite a rookie crop in the NASCAR Busch Series. Let's look at the points.
More talent. Just a lot more talent. Look at these points.
Jason Keller, Scott Riggs, teammates lead the points. Sprague, LaJoie, and Biffle, the front 5. Chris Myers.
All right, thanks, Mike. 6th career win for Jason Keller, and again, his 6th straight top 10 finish here in the Busch Series at Rockingham. But your eye was caught, Jeff, by Jack Sprague, Scott Riggs, some of the guys from the Truck Series showing early success here.
Yes, I'm very impressed with the fact these guys have come with new teams, coming in the Busch ranks like they're doing right now, and putting on a very good, you know, show. Because look here again, Scott Riggs is already winning or running 2nd in the points and only the 2nd race of the year. That is exactly what the truck division is all about, to get these guys prepared so they can come over and make the movement up, and they're doing an excellent job.
All right, at the Rock, not exactly a smooth ride. Bumping, grinding. Is it an indication of what we'll see tomorrow in the Subway 400?
I believe so, because you're looking at the type of competition that is in the Busch ranks, and they're very good. Same thing as far as the racetrack is concerned. The racetrack is very much a competitive nature tomorrow. It's going to make competition with the Winston Cup cars the same way. These guys are going to have to push and shove to get to the front. You got Jeff Gordon starting back here 33rd. He's trying to work his way up through this traffic. These guys are not going to be giving it very much, I think, early on, because it's a relatively short race.
Something that we'll look for tomorrow in the Subway 400. 3 of the top 4 finishers here today in the Busch race were Fords. Tomorrow, our NASCAR coverage continuing across the Fox networks, beginning with NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net. And then the Subway 400, our pre-race show, 12:30 Eastern on Fox. A new champion will be crowned king of the Rock, and the full wrap-up with an inside look at race day at Rockingham. Kenny Wallace will help on NASCAR's Victory Lane All Access presented by Stacker 2. That's on Fox Sports Net, as the Fox networks are your home for NASCAR. And you get a look at the Rock, a spontaneous reaction from the crowd as they saw Jason Keller win, someone who has had much success here before, but first time here in Victory Lane at Rockingham. For the most part today, Jeff Green led with 90 laps, but that was in the beginning. 8 cars were eliminated, including Shane Meal, who had qualified 2nd. Matt Kenseth ending his streak of 5 straight top 10 finishes at Rockingham, part of the guys who were knocked out early. We will see you tomorrow from Rockingham and the Subway 400. For all of us here, I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox.